How fear can take us out of alignment. This is part 2 from yesterday of manipulation. Fear is a distressing primary emotion triggered by perception of danger, pain, or threat that drives survival responses like fight or flight or freeze, and manifests through psychological changes like a racing heart, tightened muscles, or a sense of dread. In the Bible, fear can either make you doubt the Most High's provisions, that is unhealthy fear. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 25 states that the fear of man lays a snare, meaning that worrying about what others think, or being intimidated, whereas healthy fear of the Most High is having profound respect, reverence, and awe of the divine holiness and power. Proverbs chapter 14 verse 27 says, "Fear of the Most High is a fountain of life, turning a person from the snare of death." It aligns our choices with the Most High's will to keep us humble and guides us away from destructive behavior. And like I said before, when I was in church, they used to scare us in the religion. Use the religion against us. And I recognized that when I was young. Even my kids have a fear in them, and I don't like that. Due to the fact they feel, oh, if I don't go to church for Easter, look, God still loves you. If you in church or if you outside of church, you're still loved in the spirit. Can no one take the Most High love away from you? I no longer sit on the fence. I know that I am loved in the spirit. And no one can take the divine love away from me unless I use my free will to turn away from him. And I would never do that. Flaws and all, I will continue to turn to the Most High because he knows we're not perfect. But at the same time, we have to be truthful. Speak our truth. And I speak my truth all the time because I already know he sees my walk. He sees what I go through. He just waiting on us to turn to him with our problems and just leave them to him and continue our life. That would give us so much relief. And that's how our peace is bestowed upon us, by leaving our problems to him for him to work on. And have the knowing. It's the knowing. Yeah, faith, yeah. We was raised to have faith. But then we got to have the knowing with the faith. Knowing that it's going to be handled. Let it go and let God. When they say God grabbed the wheel, we got to have trust that he's grabbing that wheel, guiding us. And when I say alignment, that's what it is. It's the faith as well as the knowing. That's being in alignment and not doubting. And I'm not going to lie, I struggle with that. I no longer do. He worked in my life where I know that I'm not alone. And I know that I walk with many. I'm grateful that my ancestors are by my side as well in the spirit. My archangels. I'm grateful for my spiritual team. And we all have a spiritual team. That's what the church don't tell us. You know? But I know now. And I'm honored to break generational curses off my bloodline. This is what keeps me going every day. Just knowing everything is getting better. Each day is getting better. You have to tell yourself that, especially for the ones that don't see it from the 3D, from the world view. What about the spiritual view? You got to build your riches in the spirit before it can even present itself in the flesh. I love my spiritual team. I'm grateful for my spiritual team. And how I combat fear? I release all energy that is not mine. I cut all cords to envy, fear, and manipulation. I call back my energy, healed, cleansed, and blessed. Your words are powerful. They are so powerful. So are you going to speak death over yourself, or are you going to speak life over yourself? That's the first thing that we have to understand. And the church, I didn't really learn too much. I'm not gonna lie. And I know God loved me. I don't know the Bible back and forth, but he take me to the verses that I need to know. I meditate. I ask him, reflect to me what I need to heal. I promise you, he's gonna reflect what you need to heal for yourself. And I'm still a work in progress. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect. But it's that journey. You got to enjoy the journey. And release all energy that is not yours. And that's that negative energy that's in this world that we absorb every day. Get into your spiritual practices, you know. Being baptized one time does not help us. Learning to take spiritual baths helps us. It repels all that negative energy out of our aura. It keeps our aura clean. Look up what your aura does. It protects us. When your aura is dirty, that's what weighs you down. When your aura is clean and pure, you're light as a feather. You're light within your energy. So I just wanted to talk about fear. We already talked about manipulation. Okay? And with me, It's okay to be uncomfortable, because when you get uncomfortable, you fear the unknown. Can't fear the unknown. Embrace it. I just say, God, I don't know what you have in store for me, but I know it's beautiful. And I'm going to continue to follow you. I promise you, your life going to change. It's going to change for the better. It's going to change for the better. And people that used to know the old me, they fear the new me, because I release all energy that is not mine, all that negative energy. My spirit, my soul, it can't even relate to that anymore. And I'm grateful. Because why? I know God is love. And I'm not suppressing none of the love that I have in my heart. But I know how to direct it. You know, who to give it to, who not to give it to. Because it is energy vampires. I promise you. It's people that you could love and they still don't get it. And that's wasting your energy. So you have to protect your energy from those types of people. I learned to treat others like I treat myself. But then when I treat them the way I want to be treated and it's not reciprocated, red flag. Red flag. So I just wanted to get on here and let you guys know that I promise you, you gotta combat them devil energies. And I promise you, God will protect you, protect your peace. I thank him every day for protecting my peace. I thank him every day for protecting me and my children and allowing me to move forward in my life. I'm learning how to use my imagination again, because this world, it distracts us from using our imagination. And your imagination is connected to your creativity. You know? Where you could create for yourself, for your family, and make a living for yourself, for your family, without looking for employment. He don't want us to work ourselves to the bone. He want us to be free. And I pray to him every day. You open that door for me, I promise you, I make time for him now. But once I'm free from that time clock, I could create more time to be in a divine flow, be in a divine energy. It's beautiful. The healing I receive, I thank him every day for the healing. I no longer is ashamed of my shadow side, and those are the things that I used to do. He understands. And I broke those cycles. They no longer resonate with me. You just gotta continue to push forward. Talk to him. Have that conversation like I'm having with y'all. You know? I used to think, oh, you gotta be so holy. No. You don't. Just because they be doing and all that, no. God hears you with your plain, communication to him. All of that is a show to me, what I saw growing up in the churches and stuff, you know. We have direct communication. We just have to use it every day. Stay prayed up. Even before you go to sleep. Because your dreams, you're in the spirit realm. They didn't tell us nothing about that. But it is scriptures that tells us that some of the prophets did have dreams. Yes, you're in the spiritual realm. So you gotta ask Archangel Michael to protect you while you sleep. To protect you while you're asleep. I'm still learning, I promise you. God guided me to the truth. And I promise you it feels so good to be free. I'm not in no box. I don't have to worry about, oh, you ain't been to church this week. Oh, you ain't do this. I ain't got to worry about none of that. Because I'm no longer in the box. And that's the truth. People get hurt when we say this. At first I was scared. I break all ties to envy, fear, and manipulation. I no longer listen to the outside noise. I listen to the inside noise. And that's my spirit connected to the Most High, speaking to me, as well as my ancestors. And that's the truth. Ashe.